Hello, I have an ex who continues to harass me mentally. He constantly calls me from different numbers, writes to me, and tries to contact me. I always block him. He says all sorts of things about me in front of our friends, in front of employers. I tried to give him a chance for friendship, but he continued with manipulations, lies, and all sorts of similar things. When I tell him to stop looking for me, he starts swearing, insulting, and threatening me. During the holidays, we were at the district office, precisely because of these things and that he had entered our house without permission and knowledge from anyone. The police told me in a mocking tone that this was a family drama and that there was nothing they could do. I don't know what to do. I'm exhausted already. Reading that, you can just feel the exhaustion, can't you? If any part of that story feels familiar to you, the most important thing I can tell you is that your feelings are completely valid. What you're going through is not family drama. It is a serious, draining, and painful experience, and it absolutely deserves to be taken seriously. You know, what's being described here, it actually has a name. It's called emotional harassment and stalking. It's a recognized pattern of unwanted behavior that causes real fear and distress. And just giving this experience a name is a huge first step. Why? Because it takes it out of the realm of a confusing personal struggle and turns it into a well-understood pattern of behavior that you do not have to put up with. So the big question is, how do you get from that feeling of utter exhaustion to a place of control? Well, the process starts with building a defense. Now, this isn't about confrontation. It's about strategically and methodically creating safety and taking back your personal space one step at a time. This defense really rests on two foundational pillars: keeping evidence and limiting contact. Think of these as the first practical, concrete actions you can take to build a protective wall around yourself. Let's break down exactly what each of those means. First up, keeping evidence. This is so important. I'm talking about systematically documenting everything. Save every message and email, screenshot the chats, and keep a detailed log with dates and times of every single incident. This log is more than just potential legal evidence. It's a validation of your reality. It makes the pattern of harassment undeniable, both to yourself and to others. The second pillar is limiting contact. Now, you might already be blocking new numbers, and that's a great start. But the absolute golden rule here is to never respond to provocations. Any reaction, even if it's just telling the person to stop, can be seen as engagement. It's like fuel for the fire. Cutting off all response is the most powerful signal you can send that this channel is permanently closed. Okay, so what happens when your personal boundaries are just continuously ignored? Well, it might be time to enforce them with formal legal protection. This is the next level of defense, where you use the tools the system provides to create a boundary that is legally binding. In general, there are two main legal paths you can take. A restraining order is a preventative tool. You file it in court, and its purpose is to legally forbid any contact. A police complaint, on the other hand, is about reporting specific criminal acts that have already happened, like trespassing or threats. They serve different but sometimes complementary purposes in your overall strategy. And please always remember, your right to safety isn't just a vague idea. It is written into the law. These articles in the criminal code aren't just abstract legal jargon. They are specific protections against the exact behaviors you might be dealing with: trespassing, stalking, and threats. This is not drama. It's a matter of your legal rights. Now, what if you run into that dismissive attitude we heard about in the opening story? Here is a very powerful thing you can do. You can request a written refusal. This move requires the official to go on record with their decision not to act, and it creates a paper trail proving that you tried to get protection. Legal tools are absolutely essential, but they can't replace human connection. Building a support network is not a side task. It is a core part of your defense and your recovery. You do not have to go through this alone, and you shouldn't. Let's talk about creating what I call a social shield. This can mean informing your employer about the situation, which is a protective measure in case the harassment spills over into your professional life. It also means instructing trusted friends not to share any information about you. This helps close off the little avenues the other person might be using to keep tabs on you. Please just take a moment and look at this number. This is the National Helpline. It's a free, completely confidential resource where you can get professional advice and immediate support from people who are trained for these exact situations. It's really important to save this number. You know, the constant stress and vigilance of being harassed is profoundly draining. A psychotherapist or a crisis center can give you a safe space to process all of those emotions. And this isn't just about managing stress. It's about rebuilding your own internal sense of safety and reinforcing the boundaries that have been so violated. When you put it all together, the defense strategies, the legal options, the support networks, it all serves one fundamental, undeniable truth: your right to peace. I want you to let this sink in. You have a right to peace and safety. This is not a privilege you have to earn or a favor you have to ask for. It is a fundamental human right. It is the core principle that should guide every action you take from here on out. The journey to reclaiming your safety and your peace always begins with a single step. So considering everything we've covered, from documenting evidence to calling a helpline, what is the first step, no matter how small it may seem, that you will take to protect your peace?